Hey guys, what's up? Zax here. Today we're here with more F1 2013 career mode. This time it is the penultimate race of the season here from Austin, Texas in America. The final race of the season. And wow, we got 6th position on the grid. Our rival Nico Rosberg in 1st. That's pretty much the only person we need to worry about in this race is Rosberg. It doesn't matter if we finish like last really. We're just going to make sure that Rosberg doesn't score that many points because it's going to be very close going into Brazil, and maybe we can recreate what Hulkenberg did in the Force India at Brazil, try and lead there. But who knows what's going to happen. I mean, Hulkenberg obviously a bit of a master at Brazil, so we'll see what happens in terms of that. But hopefully the Force India car works here at Austin. It's not my favourite track in the world. I think it's quite good to watch race from. Watching racing from it's quite good, but in my opinion I don't particularly like driving it. So anyway, 6th position on the grid. Our objective apparently is to finish 4th or above. Let's go to the track and go to the race in the penultimate race of the season. And I've got to say thanks for the support on these videos, guys. I appreciate it massively, and all the other videos that I've uploaded I appreciate a lot. And I've got quite a few videos, you know, I've got a couple of ideas for coming weeks to sort of mix it up. Obviously still on F1, but other series I might want to start up. I'm not sure. I've got a couple of ideas, but I don't need to decide just yet. Hulkenberg on pole position. Webber. Maybe it wasn't Webber. I thought it was Webber on 2nd, but actually it might have been Vettel. Yeah, Webber's to our right hand side. So Webber once again. I think did we start 6th in? I think we might have started 6th in Abu Dhabi. So for the 2nd race in a row, we start alongside Mark Webber. Can Alonso get a good start? Ferrari, naturally a good starter. Whoa, look at that start from Kimi Raikkonen. Felipe Massa's gone down the inside. We're going to be sort of pinched in the middle here. Massa? How on earth's he done that? Massa, what absolute beast of a start. Rosberg has been spun around by his teammate Lewis Hamilton. What on earth has happened here? Lewis Hamilton has took out Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg going for a battle with me, and now Hamilton has took him out of the fight, which is, wow, that is just, never seen anything like that before. A teammate taking out another teammate in this game. I don't think I've ever seen that. So that is a very crazy start to this. Massa getting a blistering start and just dives it down the inside. That was a bit of a corner cut, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to take that position because I know that was definitely a corner cut. So that's Rosberg pretty much spun out of contention for some decent points in this race. Well, we got loads of retirements. I'm sorry, I just noticed that already. Chilton's in 11th. What? Rosberg is racing. Rosberg is racing in 16th. We got Alonso and Gutierrez were also involved. Peak Vern. Wow, what a crazy first lap there. Chilton up to P11. He's got those hacks on for not Abu Dhabi. He's got those hacks on for Austin. What an absolutely crazy start. By the looks of it, you can just look, diving out the inside. Whoa, that's what happened to me in the last race as well. A couple of people were thinking it was the curb, but I swear it was Webber in that last race. But I think you can see there, Massa crashed into the back of me. It nearly spun me out. It's very weird. Now we're down to 16 runners. This is becoming a race of attrition already. I've changed the start-finish line. I think the start-finish line used to be under this big Pirelli banner here, but I think they've... well, it was in F1 2012. Rosberg 40 seconds back. Rosberg is the last car running now. That is absolutely crazy. What an absolutely crazy start. I still can't believe it that most people in this race are actually going to get points. There's only going to be a couple of guys outside the points here, which is kind of crazy, but completely messed up the line through there. Now, as I said, I'm not very good at this track, but I've got to pretty much drive a smart race. I don't need to take any risks now. Hopefully, if we get a good offer from a better team next year, we can, you know, go to that team with a hope at going to at least a couple of wins. Not sure about a championship, to be perfectly honest, especially if I up the difficulty, but I'm definitely going to be looking to obviously drive a good couple of races for whatever team I get next year. And yeah, so I don't know what's happened to Rosberg. I didn't see him come past on the mini-map there, so I don't know what's happened to him, but Rosberg having a horrid bit of luck there, being spun out by his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Wow, I still can't believe what just happened there. Lewis Hamilton took out his teammate in like the first couple of corners. There's still cars going around. Are we going to lap Rosberg? Don't think so, but completely. I'm too concentrated. I'm like concentrating too much on where Rosberg is, but I didn't see him on the mini map. Well, that is wow, what a crazy couple of laps there to start off the United States Grand Prix, American Grand Prix. I put it in the title, which the actual one is, but I think I got it wrong last year. So yeah, that's that. But now we have got a chance. There's Rosberg on the map down there. So only 16 cars left in the race. We're currently in third with a nice queue of cars behind us. Dive it into the corner there. Came a long way since our first race, or first couple of races, where there was just no pace whatsoever. At least we've got a little bit more now. You've got two McLarens, you've got Ferrari, a couple other cars back there. They're all going to be using DRS here. I don't know who's going to be able to go for the move. I assume Felipe Massa's going to have a huge amount of speed down here, but we can probably brake a bit later than him round the outside. Somebody just crashed into somebody else, and I just ran completely wide because I looked behind myself. I think somebody's lost their front wing. And now I'm getting into defensive mode, and I'm really dropping off the back of Hamilton, but I assumed that Hamilton's in a faster car and he's driving better than me. So what lap are we pitting? Lap 6 is our target lap. So I don't know whether Rosberg pitted or not. I'm not sure. 38 seconds behind. He either pitted or had quite a lot of carnage around him. Actually, it's probably him that caused it all, to be perfectly honest. Obviously, I know it wasn't his fault, but Rosberg spinning into the pack. 5 laps. Massa with that amazing manoeuvre down to turn 1 where he just took the really tight apex and just completely demolished everyone. There's Rosberg on the map down there. I don't think it really has got any damage, to be perfectly honest. I just think that spinning him around and then loads of cars maybe just crashed into him, but I don't think he actually had any damage. But I don't know, to be honest. So that means Massa's probably going to get DRS here, especially as he's much faster through there. I think somebody lost their front wing crashing into each other. I think it might have been Perez on Button or Button on Perez, which is teammate battles throughout this race. So Massa is in 4th, got Hamilton up in 2nd, only 16 cars running. It's a bit disappointing. There's Rosberg on your left. So Rosberg's still going around obviously, but obviously lost a lot of time. I just completely messed up that corner. I keep running in way too deep, taking too much of a tight apex, and that's really costing me a lot of these corners. I'm just getting wrong here. I can't ever get the flow of this track right. And it's a bit ironic. I can't remember what league it was, one of my Afro leagues last year. This was the only track where I actually got a pole position, which is ironic because I was so bad at it, and I was just a bit lucky, I guess, on the day. Well, I know a lot of people didn't even bother qualifying just to challenge themselves. So we've got Massa, Perez, somebody into the pit lane there. They're pitting pretty early. I'm not sure when I should pit this lap early or not. Tyres aren't too bad, but I'm probably going to jinx it now. I'm probably going to jinx it. Rosberg has gained a lot of time on me on that last lap. When we next get to the straight, I'm going to check if Rosberg's pitted or not. Because if he's pitted, then he could still be in shot for a lot of good points. But so let's go and look at race director. There we go. Rosberg, he hasn't pitted. Alright, so Bottas and Bianchi have, and that's why he's up to 14th. So he's technically the last guy on the road, like a good 35 seconds or so behind us. Well, we've got a pretty good run out of there actually, so that's pretty good. It means that Massa will probably not really get anywhere near us on DRS, which is good. Yeah, Rosberg definitely gaining a lot of time on us. He's definitely not got a damaged car because he's just pulling out a huge amount of time, but I don't understand why I've lost so much time to Hamilton. I think part of it's defending, but part of it's just pure having no pace. It's weird how you can go from like being a couple of tenths off in qualifying to 3 seconds a lap. Is pretty embarrassing, but I have to deal with it, and at the end of the day it's the points that matter, and Perez up into 4th position. Maybe he could be going for the podium here. Well, I was coming into the pits, so oh no, we completely missed the pit lane. What? That was one of the biggest fails I've ever had. So we're going to have to watch out for Press here. Oh, Felipe Massa. Wow, it's changed up a bit, that pit entrance. But you have to let Massa through there, because otherwise I wasn't going to get into the pit entrance. So probably lost a bit of time there. We'll see where we come out the pits. Put on those prime tyres. I haven't seen that cinematic before. Chilton is going up into 10th position. I mean, remember back to Silverstone where I was beaten by Chilton Bianchi on the last corner. That was a bit embarrassing, wasn't it? So now we're going to have fresh rubber, and we're going to be trying to catch up to the cars in front. Obviously Chilton, we might be able to catch him, we might not, I don't really know. Depends how fast we can go, but I guess Chilton will be coming into the pits very shortly anyway, so we won't really need to pass them. So we came out to clean air, which is always good. It means we can really push. And Mark Webber was the guy that pitted early, and you can see he's gained a lot of time, and he's right back up here into the chase here. And I think Webber will be the person that jumps a lot of positions up here. Chilton going very slowly around the hair, I suppose you can call this a hairpin, very, very tight. Onto the long back straight. This must be one of the longest straights in Formula 1. You can see Rosberg is only about 10 seconds or so back from me now, after he hasn't made a pit stop when I have. So Rosberg obviously going to have to come into the pits at some point, but he has not lost too much time, I suppose, from that spin. It could have been far worse. He could have had to pit on the first lap and ended up having to make 2 stops, but luckily for him he didn't. Well, I just completely messed up that corner there. But looks like Rosberg is going on a charge. Hopefully for his sake, he's going to have a chance of getting up a couple of positions. But looks like some guys into pit lane right now. Did we blink too early or did we not? Time will tell. It's quite a slow pit lane here in America. Mark Webber right behind me. Obviously Max Chilton now into the pit lane. Can we see any cars come out of the pit lane here? I think there's one to our left. We'll see him any second now. Actually, I think that's Massa. Oh, apparently Webber hasn't pit. Webber's going for a 2-stop strategy by the sounds of it. Then my team saying I don't need to go for another stop. So Webber doing a different strategy. It might have played for, or like gone well for him in the short run, but in the long run, it doesn't look like it's going too well for Mark Webber. Grosjean now the car in front. Whether we'll get past him or not, I don't know. We're having to start to use a lot of the curbing here, but driver skill in terms of my case isn't too good, so we're having to use any inch of the track. Grosjean in 4th position. He's about, I think it was 15 seconds up the road. Rosberg is gaining time. He could probably actually get into the points here. It's going to be quite close. I think Grosjean was made a mistake there. He was very slow coming out of that corner. If you go back and look at the mini-map, he was very slow out the corner. He looked like he was all over the place. Obviously Mark Webber will be driving in a Formula 1 car around America for most likely the last time, unless he comes for a comeback in a couple of weeks' time. Obviously after Abu Dhabi and India, so I think it's about a month's time actually, they go to Texas. So that'll be Mark Webber's last drive. I suppose it technically won't be in America because he goes to Brazil, which is in South America. So yeah, I was pretty much just that was a bit stupid of me getting all that all wrong. But can we get Grosjean on the exit here? So Grosjean making a mistake or two, but still not, you know, what I'm trying to say here, he still didn't lose enough time, so he still come out in front of us, even though I think he was behind us in the first stint. Right, hopefully these tyres will get us to the end. I mean, it's looking quite ominous actually. We might have to come into the pits again. Bumping all over the curbs there. Can we get the DRS? Obviously two lap older tyres now on my car than on Grosjean's. Can we get it stopped in time? We can. Rosberg hits into the side of us. Not Rosberg, Grosjean hits into the side of us. Perez looks like he's going to be on shot for a third position finish here, which I think might be one of his best results of the season actually. I don't know, I think he might have got a podium already, but this will definitely be one of his better results of the season here for Perez. But this is what we needed to beat Rosberg in this championship. It might actually be mathematically impossible after this race for Rosberg to win it, but I doubt that. I think it's going to be a very interesting race in Brazil. Brazil always throws up big surprises, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did just the same in my career mode here on F1 2013. Perez 4.3 up the road, so he gained about a good 5 seconds through the pit stops, and I think that was Rosberg in P13, so he's probably not that far behind some points here, which he could definitely get if Webber pits again. He could get those points off Webber maybe. I suppose it depends if Webber puts on soft tyres or not, because if Webber puts on soft tyres, then Webber's going to be very fast towards the end of this race. Didn't lose too much time through that first sector. Actually, quite got that one. I got it right that time, which was pretty crazy because I normally get it completely wrong. But yeah, pretty good run through there, which is good for me. And now we've got a big task on our hands to possibly catch Perez. I highly doubt it. I mean, we lost the 10th in the first sector, where I think is probably the AOI's slowest point. So yeah, we've got Grosjean and all that lot behind us now with DRS, but Perez looking pretty obvious he's going to be getting that podium position. Quite a spread out field here in Austin, Texas. Don't know where the guys like Chilton are going to end up, but it looks like the guys that are pitted really early might be going for a two-stop strategy here. I suppose it is quite a high degradation track here. A lot of fast corners which can really take a punish on your tyres, and I think I've started to drive quite a lot better in terms of tyre degradation. My tyres haven't started to fall off crazy amounts. I mean, I think there's been a couple of like one or two. Was that Webber crashed into the back of Grosjean? And now Webber's going to hold that lot up. So that looks like Webber's just going to completely fall back here. This could actually put Rosberg in the chance of a point. It's going to put, I think, Rosberg in 11th place, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rosberg has got the pace in him to get past one car and put him up into points paying positions, which would be absolutely crazy considering he got spun round by his teammate on the first lap. And but whilst I was paying attention to all that, I'm not losing a lot of time to Perez in front. I'm not really too fast now. I just want to bring the car home in some points. Hopefully as good a points paying position as possible. 4th would be great. 5th would be alright. 6th would be alright. But I wouldn't really want to go any lower than 6th, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the tyres hopefully won't degrade that much. But it looks like Rosberg will come around this little kink there any second. Yes, he will. He's not that far behind the cars in front of him. And we'll check the race director here. Rosberg in P11. after starting P1. I reckon he'll get past Webber through a pit stop and maybe somebody else, so who knows whether Rosberg will get back into the points. It'll be a very heroic drive if he can, I'll tell you that, because after getting spun around in the first lap, I didn't think, to be perfectly honest, Rosberg was going to get his way back into the points, and if he's definitely got a good chance to do that now. He's right in the fight. Going very wide there. There's no grip on there. I don't even know why I just didn't brake a little bit more and get it back onto the racing line, but that's my problem. I've lost a bit more time, but it's been quite generally bad pace, but the racecraft hasn't been too bad in this episode. I haven't had to like crash into anyone or do any ambitious manoeuvres to overtake. I think I have cut quite a few, not badly, but I think I have cut a couple of corners, obviously not on purpose. But Rosberg there in P12, I think he was coming up to a big battle. If you look on the mini-map, he's coming up to a bit of a battle. So that'll be interesting to see if he can get around any of those guys. Actually, he'll probably be gaining quite a bit of time because there might be some people stuck up behind Webber whilst he's got no front wing. So that was just disaster for Webber after he crashed into the back of Grosjean, and that was just horrific. Well, horrific's probably a bit of a strong word, but it was very bad for Webber losing his front wing because he was in a position probably to get some good points, but now he's definitely going to be behind Rosberg and most likely going to be out the points completely. Well, to be perfectly honest, he's probably even out the points before he pitted. He lost so much time on that lap there. Looks like Massa and Grosjean having a good battle. I think if you remember right back to the start of my F1 2013 career mode, I had some really good battles with Felipe Massa. We'll get back into the slipstream. Whether we can get a manoeuvre done, we can. Now I do seem to brake quite early, especially if they're using DRS, so that's something we can use to our advantage. We're going to come across the line with 3 laps to go. It's going to be a tough one to defend from this lot, for sure. I mean, down the straight, I mean, they get DRS here, but it doesn't really give them any advantage. But down the long back straight is definitely where they gain a huge amount of time. I mean, our fastest lap's like, I think, 2 or so seconds off, which is just embarrassing. Bit unfortunate, but I mean, overall, I think the race has gone quite well. I mean, we haven't got involved in any accidents. I mean, we used that flashback for when we hit into Massa coming to the pits. Well, Grosjean's super fast through there as I was offline. Whoops, a bit too optimistic over the Astro on the inside there. Put all 4 wheels off the track. Right, can we get Grosjean? We'll just stop it into the corner. We'll get the better line through the corner. Oh, is that Massa going a bit wide? I think it might have been. Rosberg now right up behind some points. And I'm pretty sure we'll get that under DRS. But look at this, even with DRS we're like nowhere near this Lotus's top end speed. But as they brake quite early into here. I'm not going to go for the overtake. And we'll go for the cutback here under the inside. Well, this is turning into a nice little battle here with Grosjean. Hopefully it doesn't completely destroy my tyres. I had the fear that my last lap the tyres are going to be gone, but I've done my best to try and hold off here without doing anything stupid. But round the outside, Rosberg, no, not Rosberg, I want to keep saying Rosberg, Grosjean. Oh, that was a bit late on the brakes. Send it up the inside just like Massa did on lap 1 and slow it down. Don't need to take that corner very flat. Grosjean went around the outside of me there the lap before and thinking that, actually no, it was down here, wasn't it? They just take so much speed through here and I just can't keep up. We all take very different lines through there and this fight is definitely hurting my times. Grosjean got a little bit wide, I think, going through there, but now Massa is up a position, and we're literally nowhere. We're going to be nowhere down this straight. Looks like that's McLaren, that's Jenson Button now up into a position that was going to get him some points. But Massa now down the inside. Grosjean's dropped quite far back. Let's try and go around the outside here of Massa. I don't know why he stopped so early on the brakes on the inside. And we've got him back around the outside there. So some nice racing here. Really fun racing here. And I'm happy to be a part of it, even though it's because I'm slow that this battle's happening. But it's good to see, and look at that Rosberg. It's just what a champion's drive from Rosberg. That's exactly what he needed to do to try and beat me in the championship. I'm probably going to score more points than him here, but it's going to go down to the wire, which is exactly what he wanted to keep his drive for next year. So we go on to one more lap. The tyres spinning up. Not that bad actually. So Felipe Massa now going down the inside line into turn 1. Will he get the overtake done? I'm guessing he will, unless we brake a little bit later, which is exactly what we do. We got a bit wide through there, however, but we'll get the cutback onto the racing line through here. Exactly what we wanted. And now we've got a little bit of breathing space, but through here you'll just see the AI close up so much. But actually we went through there a lot faster than we have done in recent laps. And that's why we just completely run it off at the next corner. So let's just keep this momentum. The Prez gap has just gone up and up and up. I've got nothing to defend with here. What the? Felipe Massa? Let's just use a rewind here. What did Felipe Massa do here? He just like didn't brake into the back of me. I don't know, should I use a rewind here? Should I not? I guess I don't really. Bit of contact with Grosjean coming back onto the track. But look at that, the gap to Button's just gone up now, but Felipe Massa out of the race, and now that's going to have lost me even more positions. Felipe Massa trying to get a position moved up, and he just brakes way too late and takes me out. But it's really good to see. Obviously I didn't want to lose the position, but it's good to see the AI making mistakes like that, outbraking himself completely. Tyres are completely dead here, so we've got to just make sure we can keep it on the track for these final couple of corners. We don't want another mistake happening. I think that's Grosjean actually extended it up the inside there, but just didn't have the grip on the car. Up to the line, 5th position. Massa crashes into us in one of the most dramatic races I've probably ever had in this game. Don't think I'll ever be able to what am I trying to say? I won't be able to relive anything like that before. That was absolutely crazy. Wow, so 5th place, obviously good points. 12 points, I think that is ahead of Rosberg going into the final round. And Mark Webber can still get past Rosberg in the championship, but Raikkonen is only 1 point behind Webber. There is the constructors. I think Red Bull have won that one now, but Force India up there in 5th. But battle goes to the final race in the drivers between Vettel and Fernando Alonso, only 7 points between them. So very similar to real life last year. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And yeah, it's been Axel out here. Goodbye.